Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales of Three, an all-queer, narrative-driven D&D podcast where your three GMs are also your three PCs. My name is Dusty, my pronouns are they, she, and I play Ivy Nightbreeze Tinkerfey, whose pronouns are she, her, and we just spent about 20 minutes talking about, smut books and critiquing them. So if you want to hear more about that, link is in our Patreon.
That is face to be determined when I listen back to this.
Please just cut it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ariana. My pronouns are she, her. I play Alara Spindlespark, whose pronouns are also she, her. And Alara is really impressed with Varys's ability to disguise themselves. That's all I'm saying.
Hello everyone, my name is Wayra, my pronouns are she, they, and I play Varys, whose pronouns are he, they, and, whatever suits him in the moment, I guess, at this point.
A note regarding content warnings. This campaign is a dark fantasy that deals consistently with topics of body horror, complicated relationship dynamics, emotional distress, fantasy violence, gore, mechanized spiders, mental health and illness, profanity, and romantic and sexual relationships. A full list of episode-specific content warnings can always be found in the show notes of each episode. Last time, before their quick and surprisingly stealthy escape from Ozrin, Varys helped Alara train with her crossbow. Varys got a disturbing message from a voice inside their head, and Ivy went to see a play that wound up being about the Fae and Queen Titania. During intermission, Ivy came face-to-face with councilperson Yolan Safandaris, who invited her to attend him at the Baron's home the next day. When Ivy failed her deception check, Yolan called on 2 guards to detain Ivy, but Ivy, realizing the danger, Faye stepped backstage and ran through an exit. A chase ensued where Ivy froze over a door handle and wild-shaped into a bone mouse to escape her pursuers as she made her way back to the inn. And back at the inn, Alara checked on Varys and brought him lunch as he continued to work on his project. She then met with Ember and gave him advice about the guilds, and together the two brought to life her mechanized emotional support animal, Pearl. Back in their room, Varys, with some unseen arcane intervention, finally completed carving runes into an earring that would protect him from divination magic. Meanwhile, Mouse Ivy was scooped up by Willow, who brought her new find to Ash, who directed them towards Alara. Once Willow was gone, Ivy burst out of wild shape, saying that they needed to leave immediately. As Alara packed, Ivy ran to Varys, who was leaving his room. The three departed the inn, and in an alleyway, Ivy shaped into a bone spider and hid in Alara's jacket with Norman, while Varys pulled out a disguise kit to disguise Alara, put Bia in his backpack, and a little too quickly ducked around a corner and came out with a very convincing disguise. With some gold and a flourish of a cape, they made it past the guards, and we pick up now with Simon, Jennifer Roundbottom, Mouse Ivy, and a sleeping Bia in a backpack on the run again.
So here we are, on the run again.
Yep.
On the run again. Ivy is currently a spider in Alara's hood. And Alara and Varys are both in disguise of some variation.
I'm Jennifer Roundbottom. No, I'm Jennifer No Freckles Roundbottom.
It keeps getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah, what are you guys doing? So we just got through the checkpoint. Varys has just handed off money to the guard to let them pass.
Alara flourished her cape.
I think that he just sighs and sinks slower into his poor posture, puts his hands in his pockets, and just walks out, looking exhausted and annoyed.
That's totally fair.
Just getting away briskly.
Roll me a perception check, somebody.
Can I use my passive?
Can Ivy do it? Oh, a 19!
Oh, it's a natural 20. 23.
So you both notice that the guards seem to be a little, sidetracked. They're obviously looking for people. And so they're not really paying you much mind because they've seen you got through the first guy, and you're obviously not the people that they're looking for. So you're able to get out of the area and back onto the road pretty effortlessly. Ivy is going to stay a spider for as long as possible.
Okay.
So that's going to be an hour in. No, it's going to be longer than that.
It's 2
because
hours.
we just leveled up.
Yes,
Yeah, we
we're level
did.
5 now.
We are level 5 now. So she is able to do it for 2 hours now.
Yes.
Bam.
So she's going to be a spider for the next 2 hours.
Perfect.
We will move briskly for 2 hours then to get as much distance.
It's like walking with purpose, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going somewhere in particular? Is somebody leading or are you just walking?
We're walking away from Ozrin. There's one main road away from Ozrin.
Because Alara will eventually want them to go west.
We're going north. Like, kind of like northwest, I think.
So at some point, you guys make the decision to take a slight veer off on a path towards west.
Mm-hmm.
Is that just something that Alara does, or does she consult Varys?
Hey, Simon.
You feel Ivy jump a bit in your hood.
She says after a long time of silence.
Varys side-eyes you.
Are there people like anywhere? Or is it just us?
No, it's just you two.
Okay.
Yes, Jennifer.
How long do we have to be, Simon and Jennifer? Because this voice was hurting my throat, even though I haven't spoken for like an hour.
You know, as soon as we lost sight of town, we could have stopped and changed out of this.
Oh, so why are we still doing these voices then?
I don't know why you are.
Well, you are too.
It's easy.
She clears her throat. Okay, well, I think that we should go west, probably.
Any particular reason for that?
Well, yes, but I want to tell you both when you're both here. I mean, I know Ivy's here, but like here, like a person here, you know?
You feel a singular
Spindly caress.
Yeah.
spider paw on the back of your neck.
When Ivy gets back out, we can talk about it because it's kind of a surprise. But I do think that we should go west, and I think as she's like looking at you and she's kind of like squinting.
He raises an eyebrow.
I'm not kidding. That is like a really, really good disguise. I don't know why you didn't just do that the whole time.
Do you want to make an insight check or investigation, or are you just going to be like, that's cool?
Investigation.
Okay.
Is it investigation or is it perception?
You're actively looking, are you?
I'm looking so hard and inappropriately.
Why wouldn't I do this the whole time? What?
Oh, I just mean like, because, you know, if you were just able to disguise yourself so good the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
the day that you tried to sneak away from us in Grimford, I saw you because I saw your pink hair. I got a 15 on my investigation check.
What did you get on your deception or performance? I don't
remember. It was high. I can roll again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a dirty 20.
Poor Alara.
Yeah. It's just a really good disguise is all. Do I look as goodly disguised?
I think just enough to make them second guess.
She nods. Okay, well I guess we should just keep going then.
After you.
So you guys keep on moving. About half an hour later, Ivy taps the back of your neck, Alara.
Alara stops.
You feel Ivy crawl out of your hood and down and down your body, basically.
I'll put you down on the floor.
And then you see that gold mist come out of the spider, and suddenly she's Ivy again.
Alara waves.
Ivy waves back.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
What the hell's? She shrugs.
Does the name Yolan Sophendaris mean anything to you two?
More than I would like to admit.
Yeah, he's like the president of the council.
He
In exile.
stops walking and looks at you. Can I insight check? Are you doing this on purpose, or is like, or are you misinformed? That's an 8.
I got a 10.
God damn it!
Incredible.
You're not 100% sure. You can't be sure. You're like, surely she's not this stupid. But she might be.
She could be. I don't know.
She's so naive.
Jeez.
He nods.
So, okay, so the president, like...
No, he's not. He's not. He shakes his head.
Okay, well, the president, like, vaguely, not so vaguely threatened me.
What? You met him? He's
Yes.
there? I think
Yes.
he told us he was there. Oh yeah, I remember now. What do you mean he threatened you?
He thinks I know something about, Grimford.
Ferris is rubbing his brow to his temples and then pinches the bridge of his nose.
Alara's looking to see if makeup rubs off.
Make a perception check.
Natural one.
No.
I'm back, baby.
You think you see something, but you're not 100% sure.
She nods.
And she goes, I just didn't say anything. I said that we were going to go, and then he realized I was lying, and then I ran away.
Like he tried to like get like arrest you or stop you?
I think he just wanted to make me go to a ball.
And you just sort of ran away.
Yes.
Like, this was nice, but, see you later, or...
Like, I flipped him off and then vanished behind a curtain on the stage.
Like, teleported?
Yes.
Ivy Nypers Tinkerfay.
Yes.
You did not teleport in front of a council member. Tell me you did
The
not.
president of...
I could, and I might make you feel better. However, doesn't negate the fact that, yes, I did.
So we're like really on the run now?
Did you miss the moment that we said that teleportation was illegal, or...
I was kind of banking on the fact that he was going to be afraid.
Of course he was going to be afraid. People don't fucking teleport here.
No, he took it really well.
Remember when Varys was like, oh, hey, we really need to like keep a low profile. I guess...
I mean, he, again, glossing over the fact that the man did kind of threaten me.
He threatened you with a fancy ball?
You know what that entails.
I don't...
It's like prime time to be like fucking kidnapped.
At a ball?
I feel as though I'm missing some context here.
Amara is rubbing her chin, and she looks at her hand in the makeup, and she like wipes it on her pants.
There's a giant smear.
Yeah.
Ferris winces.
I forgot I was wearing it. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
My face feels heavy.
I imagine it does.
Okay, so I guess starting from the beginning, I went to see this play. The play was fucking horrendous. It was a play about the witch in the woods.
Oh,
And-
yes. Mhm. Not the best idea, I don't think.
No,
I'm pretty sure
nobody
it's
warned
about-
me.
I didn't know that was what they were doing.
You just said you were going to see a play. You didn't say it was. That's about your queen, by the way. I don't know if you put that-
Yes!
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got that. And then at intermission, I heard these two people talking about something that happened in Vitrum. And so I asked the person sitting next to me what happened in Vitrum, and he got up and he kind of walked over and he was like really stuffy. I'm pretty sure that rod was so far up his asshole that he couldn't even like bend it forward if he tried. And he like didn't answer my question. He was just like, do you not read? And I was like, I do. And I was like, I do, but I don't read about news because I don't need to, basically. And he was like, haha. And then
I am living for this.
and then one thing led to another, and he was like, I know who you are, Venya. And I was like, oh damn, okay,
This
cool.
is the skin of a killer. Yo.
And I was like, you know about me, but I don't know about you. And he was like, I am Councilman Yolen Sophandaris. And I was like, okay, cool. And then his bodyguards started coming down, and he was like, you're going to come to this ball thing. I have an invitation. Oh, here. And she pulls out the invitation.
Ferris looks like you just gave him the best gift ever.
She hands it directly to Varys because I'm pretty sure he like lurched forward.
He was like, he holds out a hand and takes it. He sees a signet
Mm-hmm.
on the wax seal. It says, you have a signet on this. Fantastic. And he just like...
I mean, it probably that's an invitation. It probably has, you know, an itemized list of the ways that he was going to try and kidnap me. But regardless, he gave it to me. He said, you're coming. And I was like,
I don't think he would have given you the ways he was going to do it, though. I feel like that would have given away the whole, you know?
you should have seen this man. Genuinely, if this man had an itemized list of the time signatures in which he was going to try and kidnap me, it would not surprise me. He picked off a lint of dust on his shoulder like someone shat on it.
I'm dead.
Yeah, he sounds really stuffy and mean.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then his bodyguards started coming down, and then there was Carrick and his sister, and I panicked and left. hurriedly.
You know, that was probably for the better.
Exactly, thank you.
Now that I hear the context.
I didn't just like, oh, you're the president. Peace out, bye. Like, there was context to it.
You know, I've known you for less than a month. I'm not sure at this point how your train of thought works. So.
Well, I have some good news. And she reaches under her cloak, which again billows very dramatically,
Varys tilts his head
into her pocket. And she pulls out a map. And she unrolls it. I actually asked somebody while we were in Ozrin if there were any old abandoned towers lying around, and there actually is one on top of the Thorkint Mountains, which is just like 2 weeks away from here, and we can go there and see if we can find your wizard in the tower. I thought you would be more excited about it.
2 weeks?
2 weeks travel by foot.
I mean, at least we have a destination now.
True.
Unless someone has a better idea.
No, that's great, I think.
Okay.
As long as that's what you wanted to do, Ivy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just give me a moment before we continue walking. And he goes and dips behind a tree for a second.
He's going to take a shit.
Alara turns her back and like starts walking away. She goes, well, we should give them some privacy then, probably, right?
Oh my god, B is still in his backpack.
Ivy, make a dexterity saving throw.
18.
Rollies.
Okay. No, that's a 1.
I also get a
no.
1. Rollies.
What the hell?
18.
8.
Ivy, you see a flash of movement out of the corner of your eye and you go to like duck out of the way, but you get beamed in the head with a small rock.
She rubs the back of her head.
Just a small one.
She just giggles. Do you remember that B is in your backpack currently?
I do remember B is in my backpack currently.
Actually, I want you to roll a luck check. 10 and above, B is not looking at you. 10 and below, Bia is looking at you.
Do I get advantage?
No.
It's a 7.
Yeah, you look over and B is staring at you.
Varys makes direct eye contact with B and puts a finger to his lips like, shh.
She licks her nose.
Puts both of his hands on the trunk of the tree for support while he like stretches. And as he does, he feels this rapid shift in pop of muscle and bone. And when he rights himself, he's back at his usual height. He like starts to get this feeling of pins and needles in his skin as it shifts from one color to his usual gray. And as that happens, he like takes his light pink hair and ties it back into the braid that it was in. All traces of that Simon persona are completely gone. No sign of it at all. And he's able to do that because Varys is actually a changeling. And he picks Bia up and pats her on the head, put her on her shoulder, and then backpack back on and walks back out.
Bia keeps quiet.
Oh, hi, Varys.
Hello, Laura.
Welcome back.
So Varys is back to his normal self. Alara, are you wiping off the makeup or are you keeping it on?
No, I think she forgot about it again. I think she keeps forgetting that it's there.
Listen, Varys, I love that you keep forgetting, but Varys is not. So Varys goes and reaches into his pack and grabs a cloth,
A wet wipe?
out of it, and gets his water canteen and like dabs it, and he walks over and he's like, I'm going to wipe it off. Do you mind?
She looks for a second.
Your makeup.
Oh, yes, please.
All right. he goes and like starts gently getting rid of the makeup from your face.
Ivy's just watching.
I didn't even get to see what I looked like.
I didn't think you need to. You look much better without it anyway.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Ivy's got a shit-eating grin.
Varys tosses the cloth at her face. No, I'm kidding. He turns around and sees Ivy sitting grinning and like raises an eyebrow.
She raises one back.
What?
Nothing.
Alright. Puts it away.
All right, onward and forward.
Excelsior.
So we continue walking.
Mm-hmm.
So we're probably just going to continue to walk until we get to camp.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how far into it? Are we going to camp when the sun starts to dip or after?
When the sun starts to dip, I think.
Okay. So I think as the sun starts to dip below the horizon, we are currently walking through a forest. It's a pretty dense forest, but there is a singular walking path. And as the sun starts to like darken the trees around them, Ivy goes, "All right, I think we should probably find a spot to sleep."
Yeah, I hate this and I'm exhausted, so.
Okay. Does anybody else want to look, or should I look?
For a place to sleep,
Correct.
I think we should all make survival checks.
Survival checks. All right. I'm going to pick green.
11.
18.
24.
Wow.
So I think Alara finds a spot that has like a nice layer of thicket over it, but when we prod at it, there's like burrs and stuff. Varys finds a nice spot, but then Ivy finds one just a little bit over to the left that is like perfect. It's in view of the road while also being a little secluded. There's a decent coverage of canopy over them, and there's a nice, evened, hollowed out spot where we can build a fire.
Hey.
I love it. Awesome.
Who wants to go find firewood?
Not Alara.
Varys will.
Varys goes to find firewood. Varys, will you please roll me an investigation?
I love this for me. 17.
Roll me a d12.
A d12. Okay. 5.
All right, so you find 5 nice, like, branch logs that you know are going to be able to take fire well.
Awesome.
So what are Ivy and Alara doing while Varys is looking for the perfect stick?
Alara is getting ready to make everybody dinner.
So that leaves Ivy to try and pitch the tents.
Absolutely, yes.
Alara, roll me a sleight of hand.
Dirty 20.
You are able to set up just this beautiful, like, cooking area. It's optimal. It's perfect. Ivy is now going to roll she's also going to roll a sleight of hand. Oh, that's an 18. So she sets up the tents pretty well.
Hey, good for you.
They're pretty close together. She was banking on them wanting to sleep close together. So when Varys comes back, the tents are pitched, the cooking area is set up, and all he has to do is put the logs in the fire and start it.
Awesome.
What you cooking, Alara?
So I think she makes a vegetarian stew with some of the more perishable, like, vegetables or whatever looks like it might be going sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you make a nice stew. Ivy pulls out some of her own dried rations for Bia to munch on because Bia's not going to drink vegetarian stew.
Why not?
I think she sniffs it when you're boiling it.
Mm-hmm.
And she like does that thing that cats do when they're trying to pick out each scent by like opening their mouth and like looking around. And then she sneezes at it and walks over to Ivy and starts going through her bag. Yeah, so we have our stew. We're sitting around the fire. It's pretty dark out now. What are we doing?
Eating stew.
Enjoying this amazing stew, sitting around a campfire.
Alara starts taking stuff out of her pockets.
Adding dry bits of meat to the stew.
Totally fair.
Ivy is just eating in relative silence, watching as Bia rolls around in the grass.
I think Varys watches Bia fuck around in the grass for a little bit before he starts unraveling his braid.
Bia's found like a pine cone and she's rolling around with it.
So this is the life of an adventurer, huh? Just making campfires and pitching tents in the forest.
You know,
And
typically.
also like slaying monsters and stuff like that, but
Of course, when you have a little extra coin, you go and stay at inns and towns, but if you want to save your money for better equipment, you make do with what you have.
okay.
Thank you for the stew, Alara.
Oh, you're welcome.
Ivy nods.
You two are really chatty tonight.
Sorry, it's just a lot going through my mind right now.
Okay. You want to talk about it?
Ivy, did Yoland only ask you for you to go and attend, or
She shakes her head.
so he asked for all of us?
Yes.
So he's aware that we were there.
She nods.
So does that mean that he wanted to talk to us because he wants to be like, thanks for saving the town, or
Probably not. I don't think he would try and force us to go to a key to the city ceremony.
Is that some sort of slang for something, or what are you saying?
You know, when you like do something really good in a town and they like honor you with a momentum, we call it like a key to the city. It just basically means that you're revered in the city.
Do they do that often in the Feywild?
Not really. It's only when, like, you save a bunch of people or a town from dying.
No, I don't think that's what we want.
So, we're like on the run now, for real.
A little bit.
I don't think we're going to have criminal charges or anything, or we're going to see our faces as posters anytime soon, but
he wasn't trying to congratulate us for saving the town. That means he thinks that we did something really bad. So why wouldn't we be?
or we will witness to it. So either he finds out the information on his own, which is what I'm hoping for, or he meets a dead end and needs to talk to us.
She nods. Okay, well, at least we got away, I guess.
No, it was good. Otherwise Ivy would have been in a lot of trouble.
And I would rather not be in trouble,
Me too.
if we're being honest.
Well, I'm going to identify some magic items now.
Did you need help with that? I didn't know how I can help, to be honest. But...
She smiles and she shakes her head. And she goes, no. She takes out a pearl from her jacket, one of the pearls that we got during. I will need complete silence, if you don't mind, because I really have to concentrate on what I'm doing. And she takes out, I think first she'll do the cloak, because the cloak
keeps doing funky shit.
doing weird stuff. She like sits crisscross and she puts the cloak like folded right in front of her. And she's got this pearl. I think she has her goggles like hanging around her neck. And are you guys watching her or no?
Yes. Immediately, yes.
Well, she got a natural one on her sleight of hand. So you both
Mhm.
you both watch her do something like finagle really quick with her goggles, right? But then she holds out this pearl in both of her hands and she closes her eyes. She sits there and she starts like whispering things, like unintelligible things under her breath. And you start to see these little flicks of light start to come all around and like center on the pearl. And she goes, "Oh, great pearl of knowledge, give me the answers that I seek." And she drops the pearl onto the cloak and you watch like dust, like powder fly up and all these little specks. And then like she opens her eyes really wide and she goes, "The pearl is telling me that this
Keep going.
is a cloak of billowing." And then all of a sudden all of the lights go out. What'd you get on your inside check?
14.
She's a natural one again. I'm not this way for a natural one this session.
What does he discern?
Incredible.
It looks like to the untrained, unassuming eye that she's doing magic, but she is not at all. You surmise that these are her nanobots.
Telling her the info?
Well, yeah, they're telling her info, and she's also making them sparkle to look like magic.
Oh, so she's doing it on purpose. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Harris claps.
She smiles and she
Ivy claps too.
finds her head.
So does Bia.
And then she does it with the next item. And if you will allow her to, she will do it with all of the items.
Yeah, absolutely. Varys is not gonna...
Yeah.
She'll make a big show.
I think after the last item, he'll say something, but the whole time he's just gonna let her do it.
She finishes and she stands up. Thank you both for coming to witness the great Alaris Spindlespark, best magician this side of the Thorkint Mountains. And she bows and then also does a curtsy with her jacket.
I didn't know your nanobots could do that.
Her whole face, like, she deflates. I just thought it would be more fun to use the pearl. I didn't even need the pearl for that, you know. But I know to cast Identify, you need a pearl.
That is true.
So,
Still, your performance was appreciated.
Much better than the performance I saw.
thank you. She says genuinely. So, for the listeners and for us, we have a Cloak of Billowing,
How fun.
which does nothing other than billow dramatically. We will find ways to use that to our advantage, like I did before. A pair of boots of spider climb, a brooch of shielding, a gem of health, which is just the D&D equivalent of an amulet of health, but we're making it a gem,
Ooh,
and a canteen of endless water.
awesome.
She goes, "Does anybody want any of this stuff?"
I think Varys thinks for a moment. Says, you know, if neither of you want it, I'll take the brooch. That's the only thing I'm really interested in.
Well, I think Alara puts on the cloak and she like flourishes it dramatically and she goes, Ivy, can I interest you in a very fancy, dramatic cloak?
I'm okay.
She
Are
puts
you
it back
sure?
into her pocket.
Positive. I don't really think cloaks are my style. Can I have that gem?
Of course. Do you want to? I can make it into like a piece of jewelry for you if you want.
She nods. I think a ring would be great.
She pulls out some silver or gold wire or copper or and she
Silver.
just starts pulling wires out of her. Okay. She puts the others back and she pulls out the silver. She pulls some rings out and she goes, "Here, just see which one fits your finger."
She picks one and hands it back.
Okay. And Alara will sit down and start making a ring for you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I think Alara will take like an hour or so to make that ring for Ivy. And then I think you will have to take like an hour to attune to it.
Which she happily does.
I'm going to roll a sleight of hand. Hey, 19 on the die.
Shit.
I can't do math. 27. This ring is gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
She hands it to you and it like glimmers in the moonlight. She hands it to you.
She goes, "Oh my god, this is incredible."
Yeah, I think thanks. I wasn't even it's kind of dark here. It's hard to see, but and then like the smoke blows and it gets in my eyes, but
Alara, this is incredible. And she slips it on.
thanks.
She shows it off to Varys.
Varys like looks at it and like really looks at it. You know, if this whole scientist thing doesn't work out for you, you could be a jeweler.
Oh my god, yes. Genuinely.
Thank you.
Multi-talented.
So, are we all just gonna go to sleep now, or what's everyone's plans for the night?
Well, I'm going to attune to this, and then yes, I'm probably going to go Betty bye.
So, just a question, you know. And he's like sets down the knife he was sharpening, puts it in a sheath in his boot. Have either of you had to take watch before?
No.
No, Bia generally does it. Bia nods, her chest puffed up.
Right.
Do we have to keep watch for?
So, typically, when a group goes moving around and adventuring together, you take turns taking watch.
Oh, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. While you do, make sure you're facing away from the fire so it doesn't ruin your sight, and you're paying attention for, anything abnormal.
Like, just throw some examples out there just in case, Ivy's not sure.
Such as a lot of commotion, perhaps a fight, an animal attacks the camp for some reason, people show up out of the night.
Okay.
If anything draws you away from the camp, you should wake the others up.
Okay, I got it. I will take the first watch.
Varys nods. Alright. How much sleep do you typically need?
Oh, I don't know. I've never really...
9 hours.
Preferably like 12 hours if,
Holy shit.
if I'm undisturbed. But I can also go on like 3 or 4 hours. So I don't know. 6 hours.
That's a happy medium. I'm about the same.
4.
You only need 4.
I trance.
Oh, that would make sense. Alright, so if we split the night watch up into 3 shifts.
3 hours watch shifts. So that the other person can get 6 hours. And then Ivy, you can just hang out with someone for 2 hours if you're not doing your thing,
Okay.
And listen, here's the thing, right? If the morning comes and we're just like, we can sleep a little bit longer, there's nothing wrong with that. So I think that we should just like take the morning as it comes and just kind of see what the morning vibe is.
Alara, aren't we technically on the run?
Yes, but if you don't get enough sleep, then you can't run very fast or far for a very long time. And we're keeping watch because if they come to get us, then someone will be keeping watch. I think it makes perfect sense. So...
Varys is tuned out and is staring at the fire. Right, well, good night. Stands up.
Good night.
Actually, why don't I take first watch and then Alara, you can take second watch?
I'll take second watch.
Okay, that works for me too.
So that means I have to wake up the earliest. Is this that's what I'm hearing?
Ferris pats her on the back and goes to sleep, goes to the tent.
Alara goes to her tent, and as she's like getting ready, you just hear her go, well, I said that I was going to take watch first. I don't understand why Ivy gets to take watch.
You can take first watch tomorrow night. How about that?
Fine.
Alternating sounds like a good idea.
Ivy settles up against a tree, staring directly into the fireplace with cotton in her ears.
And singing so she can't hear anything. Do the tents close? They like have like a flap in
Yeah.
the front to close?
You fasten it, yeah.
Alara closes hers and she takes out Pearl and she snuggles with Pearl.
Aw.
No.
Ivy's going to attune to her thing.
Oh, yes, good idea.
And her watch passes without incident. So she is now attuned to her thing. And she is going to go. She gently knocks on the fabric of Varys's tent. Vess, it's your turn.
All right, I'm awake anyway. Anything I should be aware of?
Nope. Everything was pretty A-okay. I do have a question for you, though.
I think he was halfway over to the sitting area around the fire and he freezes mid-step. Just looks at you.
So, I don't know about you, but I don't think it's really all that possible for someone to shrink several inches.
No. Raises an eyebrow.
And yet, you did.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. She just looks at him for a moment.
There are many ways you can change your height. Slouching, removing lifts in your shoes.
I think she makes a show of looking at his boots. And she goes, I don't see any lifts there. And I don't think slouching accommodates for, a 4-inch height difference? Give or take.
I think he sits down.
She sits next to him. So they're on the same height level.
You know, I forgot how observant you are.
Most people do.
Usually I'm a lot more careful, but in my haste to get us out, he shakes his head.
Well, Lara didn't notice, so...
No, but I don't want to hide it from her forever, especially if we're all going to keep traveling together. I'm sure you have already figured out, but... And he looks at you. I'm a changeling. And judging from the stories and how you mentioned, your tailor was a changeling back in the Feywild, you're probably used to them. But here...
I am.
Here the stories of nightmares.
Well, I don't know much about the wrong opinion here about changelings. But, everybody's different. Of course, there are changelings who aren't great, and there are changelings who are great. I mean, just because you were born something doesn't make you destined to be something bad.
And he chuckles a bit, just and shakes his head. I wish the rest of the world shared your opinion.
Well, if I can make the rest of the world share my opinion, the world would be probably a wild place.
That's for sure. Are there many of us over in the Feywild?
I mean, there's not as many as Eladrin over there. Elves and changelings are the most common outside of Eladrin. I already told you that my tailor was a changeling. I love her. She's great. A couple other changelings who I interact with. There's 2 changelings on the court. They are the wizards.
He smiles a bit at that.
I've interacted with them quite a bit. And when we were trying to figure out what I was going to be, I talked with them a little bit in the beginning.
Do you know if we come from there?
I don't believe so, but I don't know where. Every time I asked Issa, she just said that the Feywild was her home, and that it didn't matter where she came from before.
I think they nod. I've never met another one of me before, so...
I mean, isn't the whole point to, be indetectable? Are you sure you haven't?
That's fair. As far as I know, I've never met another one. I've never heard even whisperings of them.
Fair.
So I was a little curious.
I don't have a lot of answers, unfortunately, but if you've got questions, I can try to answer some things.
I appreciate that, Ivy. I do. I don't know if I have many questions for you right now, but I appreciate the sentiment.
She nods.
You said you were asking them, the wizards, about what you were going to be?
Yeah, when it was very obvious that I was not meant to be an artificer, we were trying to figure out what I was, what I could be. And I mean, it's pretty obvious when somebody has a propensity for magic. So we knew that there was magic involved. It wasn't artificery, unfortunately. So I talked with everybody on the court prior. You know, I understand feeling outside, feeling like you don't belong because of who you are. It's lonely.
It certainly can be.
But yeah, then we found out I was a druid and we went from there. I didn't really have a lot of contact with the druids on the court because, well, they didn't feel keen on teaching me anything, which is fine. People are entitled to their opinions, and there was no way to force somebody to help another person that they did not like whatsoever.
They didn't like you?
No, they did not like me. I don't know if you could tell, but I can be a bit of a bitch.
No, didn't notice at all.
Prickly.
I think you're just fine, Ivy. And he kind of like looks up from his hands and looks at you. But you were interacting with people on the court.
Mm-hmm. She just looks at you.
So is your family someone of station or?
Yeah. You know, my father doesn't really do all that much. It's my mother really that is the face of everything. But, you know, I don't think my dad was ever really cut out for court business anyways. I think it's what my mother wanted, and so he went along with it.
That's fair. Must have been lonely for you.
Emotionally, more so than physically. You know, I had both my parents. My mom was more absent, but she had more to deal with. My Aunt Tanya did all of my lessons when she wasn't doing other things. So I had swirls of time during the day, depending on the day and what was going on in the courts where I was alone. And that was fine.
So, should I be calling you Lady Ivy?
She looks at you, confused for a moment, and then it dawns on her what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't.
Are you sure?
I get enough of it at home. Please don't.
All right, I won't. Or I'll try to refrain from it.
Can I ask you a question that may be a little bit personal?
Sure.
Is this your preferred form?
He thinks about it. I think so. I haven't really had much of a choice in the form that I've taken for many years.
Oh.
So this is the first one that I have willingly chosen. It's not bad.
I understand. I think this is my preferred form as well.
He smiles at you. Because that's right, Ozrin can, you said, change seasons, right?
Mm-hmm. I used to follow the seasons in the Feywild. That's what any upstanding Eladrin does. But I've been in my winter form for a long time now, and it just feels better.
If it's what you're comfortable with, I think that's the most important.
She nods. You know, I knew there was a reason why Bia liked you so much.
You know, it's funny, I've been thinking about that. Typically, animals do not like me.
Well, Bia's not a typical animal.
No, she's not, that's for sure.
So much personality in that little body.
It's unreal, honestly. She should have been a full dragon, in my opinion, but
She might be.
who knows?
She might just be a baby.
Well, if she does grow to be a full-size dragon, and I think out of any of us, you would know.
She laughs a bit. I think she pats her knee. All right, well, I think I'm going to go trance for a little bit. I think I'm going to get up with Alara and make sure that she doesn't nod off.
It's appreciated. I kind of wanted her to go last because she would get more uninterrupted sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, Ivy.
Good night, Vaz. And she gets up and heads over to her tent. Varys, will you do me a favor and a couple hours later roll me a perception check?
I would be delighted. 21.
Hey.
So it's about an hour after Ivy's gone to bed. What are you doing right now?
So I think that, Varys is just sitting there kind of like reading through one of his notebooks, sitting around the campfire. And as he's going through it, he's like holding the book in one hand. And then with the other, after a while, he starts like subconsciously doing little hand movements.
Mm-hmm. What kind of movements?
I guess for the listeners, or anyone who's trained in Arcana or have seen a magic user, you would recognize them to be sort of like, it looks like he's practicing the somatic components to spells.
Anyone in particular, or just like going through?
He's just kind of like going down a list and it looks like in his book. And after a little longer, probably the last hour of his watch, I think he's gonna attune to that brooch.
So you're at the tail end of your brooch. You're pinning it onto your cloak. And you start hearing, in rapid succession, thump, 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 thump.
Towards or away?
Towards.
Big, large?
Big.
How many feet?
Roll me another investigation check.
22.
6.
6 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Away from me, or like having that many feet?
Having that many feet.
Is it still dark out?
Yes.
Now he smothers the campfire immediately. All source of light is gone. The dwindling embers of the flame that there was anyway. Completely gone. And he goes, Ivy, Lara, wake up.
Both of us need to roll something.
Perception.
16.
25. I think they both wake up. Ivy wakes up, immediately comes out of the tent.
So does Alara.
Varys is a scythe summoned and is facing towards the...
So now you both hear it. It's like quick succession, thump, 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 breaking through twigs, rustling leaves as it's heading towards you.
Varys gets out of the straight line. Gonna go away from the tent and moves a little further away and just kind of like holds an action to hit it.
Lara, what are you doing?
Rubbing her eyes. She's like, what is happening?
You know, if I knew that, I probably wouldn't be waking you up. So
she nods and like tries to focus her eyes on the source of the noise.
Ivy's hand starts to frost over as she holds ice knife.
I'm raging.
You gonna rage?
I like how out of amazing you've got I'm a rage, but I'm gonna stick with that anyway.
I heard I'm a rage.
No. But I will rage, yes.
Alara is holding her action to talk kindly to whatever is coming at them. We don't know what it is. What if it's not a monster?
I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna hit it.
What if it's a little bunny rabbit with 6 legs?
It was 6 feet.
Like a mutant bunny rabbit.
So in this clearing, you see in like the moonlight, because it's probably pretty much almost a full moon at this point, you see this thing roll into the campground.
I don't like that.
It has an oblong body shape and 6 tendrils on either side that it is using in quick succession like a wheel to propel itself forward.
Oh my god, it's rolling?
Yeah, it's rolling. You see 2 beady eyes staring out, and these like tentacles are rotating around its body, and the eyes are maintaining level.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Wait, the eyes are maintaining level?
Yeah. The arms, or whatever the feet, are rolling around. The eyes are staying.
No.
As it rolls into the clearing, you see that this thing is caked in like leaves and dirt and rocks. It stops and it looks... Are you hiding, Varys?
Nope. I'm further away from the group though.
Okay. It stops and looks at the 3 of you. Where a mouth should be, it splits open in like this squiggly simulacrum of a smile and screeches. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
I love that.
I got a nat fucking 20.
19.
8.
I mean, that tracks. She's sleepy.
So Varys, you are holding an action. If you want to take that action, you totally can.
I would love to. Let me just see if I hit first. Does 2 22s hit?
2 22s.
The first one does. The first one doesn't. No, I'm kidding. Yes, they do.
Yay. Okay. So one hit is 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And the other one is going to be 15 points of slashing damage. So I think what he does is he's gonna run right up to it. He's gonna bring the scythe from the bottom up, just like a big slash across whatever squiggly body this thing has. And then with the momentum, he's gonna spin and kind of like chop down towards a appendage, a tentacle, and try to sever that if he can.
So remind me, is your scythe magical? Like, does it deal magic damage?
It is, yeah.
So you slice into this thing and you try to slice through a tentacle, but you're just not able to. It's almost like it doesn't take the damage that you want it to.
I think he's confused. Can I like roll something to see if he can discern why that is?
You can roll a investigation check.
This is 16. Tell me anything?
I think it tells you that there's something about this thing that makes it resistant against magical weapons. You just don't know what it is.
I think that he's going to stay within range, and he's going to call back to the others. So this is resistant to magic. Don't use magic on it. And that's it.
So Ivy is going to, because she already had it in her hand, so she's still going to release the ice knife. That hits. Okay, that's 6 points of slashing, half to 3. And I need Varys and the creature to make a dex saving throw as the ice knife lodged into the creature and explodes, sending shards everywhere.
19. I think he's okay.
Yeah, you pass. You're good. But this thing failed, so it is going to take 3 more points of damage.
Yay.
Okay, so now we are at the top of the round. Unless, Alara, you want to try and talk to it?
No.
Because that was your held action. Just trying to talk to it.
Wait, did it attack?
No, it hasn't attacked yet. It's just screamed an unholy scream.
As that strap that's usually around her thigh is not around her thigh, because she doesn't sleep in all of her gear, you know? So she's just
like these weirdos.
She's just got it in her hand. She's actually like buttoning her pants, like still getting like dressed as she comes out of the tent, and she's got this like strap in her hand, and she goes, "Okay, well, I guess it doesn't make sense to talk to it if you guys are just attacking it. Okay." And that's
Alara's a fucking monster.
All right, so now we're gonna be at the top of the round. Ivy pulls out her bow and arrow.
Fuck yeah.
And she's gonna fire a shot at this thing.
Fuck it up, Ivy.
That hits. So that is 6 points of damage.
And it takes the full?
It takes the full damage, yes. The arrow like sinks in to the side joint, or joint, I say in air quotations, of where the tentacles attach to the smaller ends of the oblong body shape. And you watch as the arrow like disappears into its body.
Love it.
And it screams.
I hate this.
That is Varys's turn.
I love that. Can we just run away?
I mean, you could.
No. I don't like the thing. I think he's gonna let the scythe dissipate, and he's just gonna take out his short sword. There's a 17 hit.
It does.
And how about a natural 20?
Yeah.
For a total of 26.
Yeah, that hits.
I think that he's gonna lunge up with the sword and stab it.
Mm-hmm.
The first hit for 11 points of piercing damage. And then he's gonna kind of like rip that out and kind of jump up and come over top and stab it down into the ground if he can.
Okay.
For 16 points of piercing damage.
So yeah, you do pin this thing into the ground. Do you keep your sword there or do you remove it?
I think that he's gonna try to keep it pinned, if possible, to give the others a better shot.
Okay, fair enough. Alara, that is your turn.
How far is it?
30 feet.
So she's gonna run up like 15 feet just to be like closer in the fray. And she's gonna get down on the ground, and you've seen her do it before. She's gonna loop that band around one foot and the other, and she's gonna take 3 rocks out of her pocket, load them up, and stretch this thing back, and it needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
It fails.
Okay. It takes not that much damage. It takes 11 points of bludgeoning damage as she releases, and the 3 rocks just go like slam, slam, slam into its chestal area.
Okay.
It's chestal?
Chestal area.
And then she's going to use the rest of her movement to get up.
So you smack it. Varys, you have it pinned. You all watched as the arrow sunk into its chest and like is now part of its body.
Ooh.
The 3 of you watch as it moves forward, basically slicing itself open from Varys' sword, and then it rotates around. Its eyes disappear into its body. It rotates around, moves so that it's on like part of its tentacles. The eyes reappear, and where Varys has like basically bisected it is now a giant mouth.
I hate that.
And it is going to attack Varys. It's going to try and smack him with a tentacle.
Schmack it.
Smack him.
Schmack.
Varys is a 19 hit?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Better stop singing.
So this thing turns to you after it's done this sort of grotesque maneuver. The tentacles on top move downward.
Ooh.
So it's got 2 or 3 on either side. and then it reaches out and punches you in the face.
Oh! I think you watch his head snap back.
For 10 points of damage.
Oh! Fuck.
Jeez,
A bludgeoning
Louise.
damage?
Yeah, 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Don't like it. Is it halved?
Yeah, it is.
So 5 points of bludgeoning damage. It is also going to take this opportunity to sweep some debris off the floor and cover its wounds.
Why?
And now, ask it next time. And that is going to be Ivy's turn. Ivy's going to go, what the fuck? And then shoot it again with an arrow. And that hits. So that is going to be 6 more points of damage.
Nice.
And again, the arrow disappears into this thing's body. Ferris, that is now your turn.
So it punched me in the face, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to have him reach out and like wind, like grab a tentacle and like wind his hand around it and like pull it down and try to cut into that one.
Okay.
24?
Yeah. So you reach out. Hold on. Before you roll any
Okay.
damage, you reach out. Your fingers sink into this tentacle and past a crusty layer of debris.
Gross.
And I need you to also take 2 points of acid damage.
Okay.
As you have gotten through this crunchy layer, and you are now holding a viscous liquid in your hand.
Oh,
Like,
that's great.
it is the consistency of chunky applesauce.
I hate this.
But you may continue to do what you were doing.
He's gonna feel that nastiness and he's gonna take the sword and he's gonna cut into it for a total of 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then with a second attack, I think that he's just gonna pull himself forward with the tentacle and like let it go. Stab into the main body for a 25 to hit.
Yep.
10 points of slashing damage.
So you do end up separating this tentacle. So when you let it go, it sort of splats onto the ground and loses its shape, and all of the debris that was encrusting it sort of pitters off, and you see that this liquid is red.
Interesting. He's gonna flick off the acid from his hand.
Yeah, where it touches the ground, it starts to like sizzle.
Oh, that's great.
Alara, that is your turn.
Okay, so she's gonna put her glove on. And she's gonna run up. Varys isn't touching it at this point, right?
No.
Gonna run up. She's got her glove, and as she's running, it starts to kind of do the thing that it does. Does a 17 hit?
It does.
Yeah.
And she's going to slap a tentacle because now we're
Slap a
level
bitch.
5. We got 2d8
Ooh.
cantrips.
Fucking up.
Ooh, that is 10 points of electricity damage as you watch it just go like get electrocuted for a second.
I love
You
this.
watch as the electricity sparks along this debris
Mm-hmm.
and like crackles around it and singes up a bit of like the leaves that were on it, and it starts to like ooze just a little bit.
Disgusting.
You're welcome. And now it is this thing's turn. Alara, will you please do me the honors of making a dexterity saving throw?
No.
I don't wanna. Okay, I'm using my new Alara dice. How's a 7? Well, wait. It's not gonna, it doesn't matter. Wait, how's a 9?
Alara.
Yeah.
So you burn up a bit of this carapace that it's made like for itself as it turns around and just engulfs you.
No.
Yeah. Basically what it does is where it's been split into the middle, it turns and you watch as jaws form and like some semblance of teeth form, and it engulfs you from the waist up. And it whips back so that you're kind of upside down with your legs flailing outside of the mouth, like in the air.
Oh my god.
And you also take 8 points of acid damage.
Oh my god. Can I breathe?
No.
Cool.
How long can you hold your breath for, Alara?
I have a +1. Yeah.
So you have 2 minutes.
2 minutes. She's in there like
Stop talking.
That is Ivy's turn. So she's gonna run up and try and pull Alara out
do it.
with her -1
Oh.
strength. Yeah, no. You feel somebody start tugging at your legs.
I think Ivy goes to grab her and Alora's legs are flailing around so quickly
You feel
that she almost gets fucking kicked in the head.
you feel someone smack your leg as she's trying to like grab onto it.
Oh my god.
The only thing that would make this better is if They both got slurped up.
Oh boy.
Varys, that is your turn.
I think Varys looks over. After
Debacle.
shakes his head and walks over, essentially walks over and grabs onto Alara's legs and yanks as hard as he can.
Give me a strength check.
He wants to pull her out, not in a way that she's gonna come out and smack her head on the ground, but where he can grab her. It's 17.
Yeah, that is enough to pull her out. So she slurps out wetly,
Ugh.
but you are now out of the monster's body.
Amazing. He's gonna set her down and behind him.
She wipes her eyes and her mouth. It's really gross in there.
Ivy's just staring at you.
She waves at Ivy.
Paris is I can imagine.
Alara, that is now your turn.
Okay, how far is she from it now?
You're still right up in melee with this thing.
I'm in front of you, in front of it.
So if I move it, I'll take an attack.
Yeah, you'll take a swallow of opportunity.
Do what I dare you. I would actually die.
Alara goes to back away.
No.
She goes, I'm gonna go back here a little bit, and I'm gonna take a swallow of opportunity.
All right.
Ferris is I'm just are you?
Make a dexterity saving throw at
His
disadvantage.
eyes widen.
Natural 1. On my new die, natural 1.
Yeah, this thing, so you watch as its mouth splits fully open and it moves around Varys to then come back together around you. And you are fully swallowed now.
I don't like that he was essentially just like Moses in the sea for a second of slime.
Yeah. Make a perception check for me.
It's a 16.
Varys, you tell me, have you ever seen a gelatinous ooze before?
Yes.
So as this thing goes around you, like you're fucking Moses, you look into the inside of this half. You see disintegrating bones. You see daggers. You see Ivy's arrows. You're realizing that this is a weird fucking hybrid of a gelatinous ooze.
I want to know if this is made by somebody. This doesn't seem natural, but now's not the time to be a curious asshole.
Do I take more damage?
Yes, you're gonna take...
Imagine if you just started science nerding out right now.
While Lara's inside. Lara, tell me what it's like. You take 7 points of acid damage.
How you doing, Alara?
Not the worst, but not the best.
Cool.
I really wish she would have had time to put her goggles back on.
Aww. Her eyes are closed in there.
Good.
But it is now this thing's turn because it took a swallow of opportunity. So it is going to make a strike at Varys with its tentacle. Varys, does a 13 hit?
No, it does not.
So you're able to dodge out of the way before this thing punches you in the face again.
Amazing. I think he just ducks under.
So it is now Ivy's turn. Ivy looks at Varys and she's like, I don't even know how to get out of that one.
It's completely engulfed in her.
Yeah.
Varys just puts his hand up and just in frustration throws them up.
She winks.
Ivy.
No.
Ivy is going to take her arrow and I think she's just going to attempt to stab into a tentacle because she doesn't want to accidentally hit Alara.
You have daggers.
Do I?
We do. Varys gave you a dagger or two.
That's right. Ivy's going to take a dagger. Ivy's going to take her dagger out of her boot and go for a tentacle. And that hits. Okay. It's a D4, right?
Yes.
That's 3 points of damage.
Plus your...
Plus 2. Okay. And then that is now Varys' turn.
Amazing. What do I have to roll to pry this fucker open and get Alara out? I don't care if I have to take acid damage.
I have a plan. Alara's taking shit out of her pockets from inside of this thing.
No.
She is.
Let's see. We're playing pretty loosey-goosey right now. Make an attack roll for me
Okay.
to start, and then we'll go from there.
24.
That hits. Okay. Now make an athletic check for me.
Okay.
DC 17 to pry it open.
Don't fuck me. I think I make it 16 on the die plus 3. Nope.
Yeah, you do.
Sorry, +6.
Okay. Yeah, so you are able to pry this thing open, but that is going to be all of your action economy.
Amazing. So he's just gonna like stay in between it and try to hold it open for Alara to get out.
So now Alara can breathe as you reveal her face.
Covered in slime.
He's just like, get the fuck out of there.
Also roll damage for me though, because you did hurt this thing by you stabbing into it.
I love it. Okay. That's 9.
Okay.
9 points of stabby damage.
All right, Alara, your face has just been freed. Varys is looking at you.
Okay, since we're playing loosey-goosey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of there.
Since I'm inside of this thing,
Mm-hmm.
if I needed it to make a dexterity saving throw, would it automatically fail?
No, because it can bisect itself and move.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Would it do it at disadvantage because it doesn't know what's happening inside?
Yes, it would do it at disadvantage.
Alara's gonna turn around. Away from Varys. And I want to try to blast a hole in this thing with catapult through the backside.
I'm just imagining what Varys is seeing.
But just because, not because I'm trying to stay in there, but because I have more of a chance of hitting it from the inside than I do if I get out of it, right?
Yeah. But I just want you to think about what Varys is seeing. He opens this thing up. You say hi and then turn around.
Yes. And then I want to blast the backside.
Okay. First, you're going to take some acid damage because you're still in it.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to take 7 more points of acid damage.
Okay. She's starting to look a little fucked up.
If only there was a convenient way for you to get the fuck out of Dodge.
I still have movement, so I can move out when I'm done doing damage.
All right, so I'm rolling. What am I
You're
rolling?
rolling a dexterity saving throw DC 15 at disadvantage.
I do not make it.
Okay. So, at second level,
Okay.
I'm doing catapult, so it's 4d8.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to...
Oh, God.
Is that how many ones did you just roll?
2 1s and a 2. And a 6. So, now... For a grand total of 10 points of bludgeoning damage, I shoot them out the other side, and then I think I'm gonna push myself out towards Varys to go behind them, if I could do that, instead of going on the other side. Is there something in there that I could like kick off of to get out?
It's applesauce, baby.
Well, then I flail out of this thing. I wanted it to look cool and badass, but in reality, she just wiggles out.
Yeah, she wiggles out.
Takes a deep breath, shakes both of her hands out so all the stuff comes off. You hear the splat of the applesauce
And the sizzle.
and the sizzle, and she goes, "Thank you again."
No problem.
Okay. So that is your turn.
That is my turn. Thank you for letting me do that.
Mhm.
Something cool.
This thing is going to punch Varys in the face again.
As he's holding it open.
Varys is an 18 hit.
Yeah, that hits.
12 points of bludgeoning damage.
So 6. Okay. Just his head whips back again. On the impact.
Okay, that is Ivy's turn. Ivy's gonna get frustrated, I think, and she is going to. She's gonna make a spell because
Okay.
she's frustrated.
Make a spell.
She's gonna make a spell.
She's gonna make a spell.
Yep.
You watch as she just like screams in frustration, and her hand turns black,
Ooh.
and she smacks this thing full on in the face as she casts Inflict Wounds.
Ooh.
Amazing.
And that hits. So she's going to do it at a second level. So that's going to be 4d10.
Oh. Disintegrate it. Let's go.
12 points of damage. And this thing is starting to look fucked up
Yes.
as it screams as her handprint is burned into its forehead.
Ooh, I love it.
Varys, that is now your turn. You are still holding it open.
I think that he's gonna let it go. I think he's gonna try to sever that fucking tentacle again. So he's gonna take
The one that keeps punching him in the face?
Yeah. I think he's gonna take 2 hacks at it with his sword. First one's a natural 1.
Okay. Roll me a luck check.
Lucky 13?
Your sword breaks in half
Oh.
as it strikes a rock.
Unlucky 13.
Amazing. He's gonna punch him.
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
Natural 20!
I love this game. God, I love this game.
Fuck it up.
It's 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Holy shit. Alara
Yeah.
goes.
You see a vein pop in his jaw, and he just fucking wails on it.
Alara's like, oh.
You punch the joint of this tentacle and it just flies off of its body.
I like to think he goes spinning ass over tea kettle.
Yeah, 100%.
He like tosses the sword to the side. I think if you'll let me, with his bonus action, he'll take out a dagger.
Works for me. Alara, what are you doing now?
I'm gonna smack him with my glove again. So she charges up her glove. You start to see the electricity like start to spark. Goes up to it. For a 14 on the die, plus 7 is 20
Yeah, that hits.
whatever.
20 whatever.
20 whatever it is. Hey, 12 points of electricity damage as she just like, I think she just palms it, like just puts her hand straight out and just lets it, like you hear it like slurp into it as the shock goes through and she yanks it out.
Same as before, you watch as the electricity sort of burns up a little bit of the debris that is attached to it. And then that is now its turn.
Wait, bonus action. I want to heal myself.
Yeah, go
please
ahead.
do.
Please do.
It's not for much, but I'm gonna use my new little bullet die. Okay, she uncorks the green vial on her chest, and you watch as these like sparkly green bots fly out, and they swarm her wounds for 7 points of healing.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Then negates one of it. One of the acid damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it is now this thing's turn. You watch as the tentacles come into the body, basically creates like a blob on the ground. It rolls forward a little bit, picking up some debris, and then shifts up into kind of a human-esque form, only in the fact that it is shaped like a blob of a human.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so you got rid of 2 tentacles. So there are 5 on one side and then 5 on another come out, and it's like down the sides. And it is about the same height as Varys.
What the fuck?
Ferris looks at it weird.
And it is going to punch Varys in the face.
Oh, I love this. Okay.
Varys does an 18 hit,
Yep.
11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Half to
5. That is Ivy's turn. Ivy is again going to say, "What the fuck?" And then she is going to blast it with an arrow.
Right between the eyes. Let's go.
That is a nat 20, though.
Hey!
So 6 plus 6, 12 points of damage. It is looking fucked up. It screeches directly into Varys's face.
Oh boy.
Varys, that is your turn. It is now the same height as you. Are you also going to punch it in the face?
I'm debating on what does more damage at this point. I think he's gonna use a dagger.
Dagger, dagger.
Might as well put one of his plethora of daggers to use, right? It's a natural one.
Baby boy.
Baby boy, roll me another luck check.
7.
That dagger also breaks in half.
Oh my god.
Fucking discards the handle and punches it in the face.
Alara's like, Varys.
25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
It's 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, you watch as its head thing snaps back as well as you punch it in the face.
It's gonna take out another dagger.
It looks haggard. It looks haggard. Alara, that is your turn.
I'm going to. It looks really fucked up.
Yes.
I'm gonna take an attack of swallow opportunity. And
Okay.
get out of its range.
Okay. Make a dexterity saving throw.
I swear to baby Jesus and big Jesus.
And teenage Jesus.
And teenage
middle
Jesus,
school Jesus.
and middle-aged Jesus. It's a natural one. I swear to God.
Can I use my reaction? Can I like grab her?
If you want to, we can try it. Roll me an acrobatics at disadvantage.
Acrobatics? Oh, I don't know if you can get much worse than that. 13? Lucky 13?
As Alara goes to run away, you watch as like almost like a zipper, the front of this thing opens from stem to sternum and flays out and goes to swallow Alara.
He like grabs her as it's about to close around her and he throws her back out of the way.
Okay, she falls to the ground and then takes 3 points of damage.
Okay.
And it engulfs you instead. And now you are going to take 9 points of acid damage.
I have royally fucked up my entire plan so bad. Is it the same? It's the same size of Varys, right? Like there's not even a part that I could aim for.
Nope. Varys, there is, as you're inside of it, there is like maybe 5 inches around you of just this shit. It is like fitting you like a second skin.
How are we going to attack it now? I have fucked this up so bad.
You have, I have. I shouldn't have tried to help you. Oh, either way, we would have been fucked, but...
No, because if I got swallowed, I still could have catapulted it from the inside. So either way, it was going to be fine.
Okay, that is this thing's turn. Alara, how far away?
Yes, I know what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to do... It's not an attack.
Okay.
It's not an attack. I'm going to pick up the 2 pieces of Varys's broken sword, and she's going to run her fingers over the broken part. You see these silver sparkles of the nanobots like flicker around it as they mend the sword, and I'm going to toss it into the ooze for Varys to catch.
Okay, roll me a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. I'm good at sleight of hand. Okay, that's a 19 on the die.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you are able to, I don't know how, like flat end into where you think his arms are.
Mm-hmm.
Varys, now it's your turn to roll me a sleight of hand.
Does an 18 work?
Yeah, you're able to grasp it from inside.
Schlorp.
Amazing. I think that he's gonna
It's
cut
not your
from
turn
head
yet. It's not
to
your
bottom.
turn yet.
Damn it! Okay.
It is now this thing's turn. Alara, how close are you to it?
Are we gonna swallow this
Well,
bowl?
she close enough to pick up the... She's right there. She didn't really get far.
All right, it's gonna punch you in the face.
Okay, let's
Dodge,
go.
please dodge, dodge.
I got a pretty decent AC.
Does a 16 hit?
No, it
Yes!
doesn't.
Hey!
She fucking dodges. It just comes out straight or it comes from the side?
Straight. She drops to the floor.
No, she
jumps back.
She goes to jump back and she slips on the applesauce and falls on her ass.
I love it.
But it misses.
Perfect.
That is Ivy's turn. Ivy's gonna drop the bow and arrow. So frustrated right now.
I'm so sorry.
She's gonna take her dagger and she's gonna try and cut the side of it like she's carving meat. That hits. Thank God. That is 5 points of damage.
All right, come on.
Amazing.
Now that is Varys' turn.
Cool. Do I have to roll a disadvantage to attack this motherfucker?
Yes, you were inside of it.
Okay. That's not great. For the first one anyway. 11.
No.
Second one.
So you try to move within it and you're not able to get it up.
Performance issues.
Performance issues, yeah.
It was a 19 hit.
Jesus, yeah, that hits.
It was a 13 and a 15. So, got the short sword. 10 points of slashing damage, and I would like to cut from head to groin and just bisect it.
You do. It is still hanging on by a
Amazing.
fucking thread, but it is still hanging on.
Can I use my movement to tumble out in front of it?
Yes. Tuck and roll. All right, Alara.
Alara is going to, now that Varys is out of it, she's already on the floor, I'm gonna fucking catapult it.
Do it.
Dexterity 15. At second level, I want to blast it.
16?
Fuck, it passes. They all just go wide.
She was overzealous.
And she kind of lets out like a stuttered, very defeated breath. She doesn't even get off the floor.
Okay. This thing is going to attempt to run away.
No.
All 3 of us can make opportunity attacks. Varys, you are closest, so you go first.
I want to jump on it.
You're just gonna go into it.
Yeah, you would.
No, well, never mind. Sad. I'm gonna take an attack on it with my sword, my short sword.
Okay.
My sword.
Does a 17 hit?
Yes, it hits.
I want it to die.
What is your plus for damage?
It's a +5.
You're going to kill this thing regardless, so tell me how you do it.
Hey,
Oh, amazing.
Let's go.
It had 3 hit points left.
Aww.
I like to think that he's facing away from it. So I think that as he like sees the shift of it out of the corner of his eye, he just like flips the sword in his hand and rams it back into its ribs area and then pulls it out.
Yeah, it dies in a cacophony of screams and then sort of melts into the ground and disappears.
He flicks the shit off of his sword and wipes the acid shit off of him.
Wow. Thanks so much for listening. We're incredibly grateful for the love and support.
And P.S. if you want more content, check out our Patreon for free clips, bonus scenes, and if you join the Red Rogues, you'll get access to the Rainbow Dice Club chat and after show where we talk about past episodes.
If you're enjoying the show, please consider leaving us a 5-star review and tell your friends about us.
Special thanks to our Green Fiend Patreon supporters, Jen Bear and Michael.
And with that, our story pause is here for today. Join us next time as we continue our adventures, and remember, it's never too late to start your own.
Bye!
Do you remember that B is in your backpack currently?
Yep.
Okay.
I do remember B is in my backpack currently.
She's fucking snoring.
She's snoring as far as Varys is concerned.
She's fucking snoring.
Why? Why do you ask?
Because I think it'd be funny if he shapeshift and looked over at his backpack he puts on the ground and B is just like...
Which is funny because that's exactly what he does.
Nice.
He puts...
So what you cooking, Alara?
I don't know. I said I was going to think of stuff for her to cook and I completely forgot. So...
Before untying his braid from the hair. I mean, his hair from the braid.
His braid from the hair. What does that mean?
I won't take the first one.
No, that wasn't him. It's me.
No, that was 100% Varys. Just,
He's like, baby girl, I was not going to have you keep watch. It's gonna be an interesting group dynamic for night watches and hit points.
Yes, she got a lot of hit points. She feels rejuvenated. She's like, oh, fuck.
Fuck sleep. I'm alive.
Derek, wake up!
Hit me a couple times. I can take it.
Do it.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, Varys just sees the outline of Ivy from outside his tent bearing down Varys.
Whoa. Everyone's going through a voice change this during travel.
Damn.
There's a train going by.
I'm a dog chasing cars. I wish. Oh, I lost my voice. What's that?
And she goes into her tunnel into her tent. She digs a tunnel. She turns into a wild badger and digs a tunnel.
Love it. Honey badger, don't give a fuck. On my fucking watch.
In front of my salad?
Not in front of my chicken nuggies. Go back to bed. No. Don't have to tell me twice.
Obsessed.
I need to remember what ice damage is, what ice knife is. I almost just tried to search knife in my phone.
No, just knife.
Because I have so many apps that I have to do the search function. So I almost just typed in knife.
Mm-hmm. Sounds right. Knife.
Okay, so that is...
Tell me to roll with with the proper dice for a short
Roll with the
sword.
proper dice.
Please roll with the proper dice.
I'm sorry.
For a short sword.
Short sword.
Short sword.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Ouchie, mama.
Okay. Listen, that hits different when you're nauseous.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So she's just,
She's got
I know,
daggers.
she's going to run up and she's
Hit
going to
Alara
try.
right in the ass.
She's going to smack Alara's ass and.
And she goes in a little bit deeper. He whips her out and throws her into the tent.
Go back to
Stay
bed.
there. I said go back to bed. I can't believe I just rolled so bad on.
Oh, I can.
Blast is apparently my words this afternoon.
Brain blast.
Brain blast.